in a perfect emblem of the age, the White House Correspondents Association has selected the photo of the year. And guess what it is? None other, let's put it up on the screen, the clap photo by Doug Mills at the New York Times. Now, look, Doug is I worked with him in the White House, the greatest news photographer of his age. He was, with Bush on 9/11. I do not discount. I'm not discounting him whatsoever. But the fact that this is what the WHCA chose as the photo of the year, it is true. I mean, ultimately, that's what this whole last year was about. Token resistance and all this.
We need Katie Halper
Nancy
in here
Pelosi
to do her.
had to do her clip thing. Trump up there. Like up against Pelosi walking out. I mean, it's just, that's it. Nothing got done. They just, sniped at each other over the last year, and here we are.
Yes, I agree with you. I actually fully support this picture being chosen, but not for any of the reasons that they think this shows like a powerful resistance and her showing what she really thinks of President Trump. I think it shows the utter inadequacy and hypocrisy of the fact that while we've had these theatrical displays of resistance, including that clap, including tearing the speech, including, this week the kneeling, while doing very little in terms of actually advancing a sort of structural police reform, kneeling with the kente cloth, that it's been much more about symbolic gestures in theater than actually doing anything about this president's power or resisting the direction that he's taken the government. I mean, look, you give him his trade deal, you give him his massive military budget. Just a couple weeks ago, Pelosi was fighting to give him more surveillance powers than he didn't even want. I mean, that has been the nature of this dynamic. Right? On the FISA courts, he's like, I'm going to veto it. And she's like fighting to get it passed for what are you doing right now? Like, what are you thinking about? And then, of course, on the coronavirus response, they all lined up together. The Senate voted unanimously for the big bailout. Pelosi and the Democrats have been pathetic with their response. We actually have some new polling on one key element of their approach to coronavirus economic bailout, which was outrageously to try to push to bail out corporate lobbyists. It will surprise absolutely no one that Americans strongly opposed that approach to the bailout. But again, it's so many of these issues there's actually consensus around, right? The things that they picked to really go after President Trump on Russiagate, which turned out to not be a lot there, Ukrainegate, which I actually think the president's behavior was inappropriate, but it was this sort of like elite, diplomatic, bureaucratic infighting that no one could possibly care about. And why do they pick those issues? Because they have to pick these thin slice elite signaling issues that don't implicate themselves. If they went after the things that he has actually been most problematic of, there's too much self-reflection, there's too much blowback on their own positions. So there you go. I think it's a perfect photo. Well done.
Perfect emblem of the age. Of course, that lobbyist provision in the bailout is just so perfect. And just the whole way that everything has been handled, the kente cloth and all the symbolism, and it's just such nonsense. And we deserve so much better. And it's not coming. That's the worst part. You're like, there's no shiny, there's nothing in the wings that's waiting to come in and take over. Frankly, Biden's, if he looks like he's going to win, currently a lot can happen, all caveats attached. That's all it's going to be for next year.
No, the pressure comes from the streets. I mean, the only hope is like that people actually are galvanized together, that you have a broad-based movement that can apply some pressure. Like that's where the hope comes from. It doesn't come from these people in this town. Well done, Pelosi.
Thank you.
Well done.
Congrats to the WHCA, of which I was a former member.
All right, we're rising for you after this.